In this demo, I'm going to show you how to integrate with QuickBooks. There's actually two ways to integrate with QuickBooks. One is to export all your data to QuickBooks, which is relatively complicated. The second way is to just run reports from within RepairTRAX, get the data you need in order to enter in the majority of what you need for QuickBooks that way, and just give those reports to your accountant and let them put them in QuickBooks. But if you're totally driven with QuickBooks and absolutely love it, this shows you how to use RepairTRAX to export the data into a file that you then suck up into QuickBooks. So in order to set this all up, the first thing we need to do is go to the Admin Center and make sure that QuickBooks export is enabled. So let's see how to do that. Okay, once in the Admin Center, we just need to go over to Settings. Alright, so I'm in Settings and I've already scrolled down to the very bottom of Settings where the QuickBooks Setting section is. The drop down of Integrate with QuickBooks is either yes or no. The default is no. If you turn it on to yes, then there's some tax fields that need to be filled out. The values put in these fields are values from QuickBooks. So what I'm going to do now is Alt-Tab over to QuickBooks and show you where these values came from. Okay, so here I am in QuickBooks, and from within QuickBooks I go to my lists and select item lists, and then I look for my sales tax item, which is down here. If I double click on it, I can edit it and get all the values I need for RepairTRAX. So let's take a look. The three items I need are the sales tax name, as shown here, the sales tax rate, and the tax agency. Those three fields need to be copied into RepairTRAX as shown prior. You will also need the tax code, which usually is just tax or non, but I'll show you where to look for that. If I go to my lists, I can select the sales tax code list, and here they are. Like I said, it's usually tax or non. You'll use this code when you're defining your parts. A part is either taxable or non. So you would enter in either tax or non in the parts section, which is coming up soon. Now I'm going to jump back to RepairTRAX. Okay, so here's my three copied field values, and I'm ready to submit. Now that QuickBooks is turned on, within the admin section, you will see the QuickBooks menu item. The next thing we're going to do is adjust our parts to make sure that all our parts have QuickBooks fields in them. And so I'm going to go back to the main menu first. And then I'm going to jump over to Reports, where I can list out every single part I have in my store. Under the Parts and Inventory section of Reports, I want to output entire parts and inventory, so let's just click that. I want the report to be listed on screen because then I can click each part one by one and make sure all the QuickBooks fields are intact. So let's just leave it as on screen and click Submit. Now, for each part, you need to make sure that all the QuickBooks fields are properly filled out. Let's take a look at one part, but you'll do this for every part. The highlighted fields here are also found in QuickBooks and need to match one for one. Let's see where these fields are located within QuickBooks. Again, going to my item list box, I can find the part, for example, the memory 4 GB that we were editing. And if I double click on that, I can edit and see all the corresponding fields that need to be copied. The fields highlighted here are the same fields found in RepairTRAX, and they need to match one for one in order for this to work. From here on out though, any new part that you add only needs to be added in RepairTRAX with the proper QuickBooks fields filled out. If it's a new part, during the export process, it will be exported and QuickBooks will import that new part and add the part automatically to QuickBooks. So RepairTRAX is actually the master and QuickBooks is the slave, just receiving new information from RepairTRAX once all your initial parts have been established. Prior to export, for my very first time, I need to find the very first ticket of all my closed paid tickets. So I'm going to use the ticket search to find out the ticket number to use to begin my export. I'm going to scroll down just a bit. And then set the ticket status to closed, paid, gone tickets. And then submit to search. My default listing for all searches is last touched first, and the oldest tickets are at the bottom, so I need to scroll down. I'm now at the very bottom to find my very first ticket number of all closed, paid, and gone tickets. And I'm going to copy this ticket number. Once I do an export one time, RepairTRAX remembers the last ticket that was exported and suggests the next ticket number for you. But this is the very first time I'm going to do it, so I'm going to select the very first ticket of all my closed, paid, gone tickets and copy it. Now I need to go to the Admin Center, which is first found by going to the main menu. So let's do that first. And then click on the QuickBooks button to get to my export utility. Okay, the second field down, override starting ticket number with this number. That's where I'm going to paste in my very first ticket of all my closed, paid, gone tickets. And it will progressively go up from that all the way through all my closed, paid, gone tickets. So let's paste that in. Now let's take a look at the export mode just to see all the types available. As you can see, you can either export closed, ready for payment tickets and at the same time set them as paid, or you can export the paid and closed tickets, which is what we're doing, or you can practice with export any ticket regardless of status, but we're exporting the paid closed tickets. So let's set that up. The export type is QuickBooks Invoices, which is what we're doing. You can also export customers, but let's just do the invoices, which will export the invoices, all new customers, all new parts, all existing parts, or existing customers, and it'll get it all ready for a QuickBooks import. Once the export is complete, you can right-click here, and then you choose Save, or Save Target As, or Save Link As, and it allows you to save the file. So let's do that. And give the file a name. Now I'm going to jump back over to QuickBooks and import these tickets. Now I'm ready to import my IIF file that I exported out of RepairTRAX. I do this starting with the File menu, and then select Utilities, and then select Import, and then select IIF files. And there's my IIF file, so I'll select that, and all the data gets imported. Ta-da! Now if I go to my Customer Center, I can see my customers and corresponding payments, both which are imported from RepairTRAX. Although the payments and the invoices were imported, the payments need to be applied, so let's see how to do that. If I go to the Customers menu and select Receive Payments, I can scroll backwards through all the customer payments that haven't been applied by clicking the back arrow on the Find button. And repeat, going back. To apply a payment, I just check the checkbox. And when I try to move to the next record, it'll ask me if I want to save my changes, which I will. And then I'll just repeat this process. That's pretty much it. Have a great day.